Thank you for visiting San Mateo County's Children and Family Services. San Mateo County is a mid-sized county located south of San Francisco and just north of Santa Clara County's Silicon Valley. We are bordered by the Pacific Ocean to the west and the beautiful San Francisco Bay to the east. San Mateo County prides itself on its commitment to protecting and enhancing the health, safety, welfare, and natural resources of the community. San Mateo County has many innovative child welfare programs that have a high emphasis on partnerships, collaborations, and giving children and families voice and choice in matters that affect them. Some of those programs include case conferences and child and family team meetings, services for children who are commercially sexually exploited, adoption services, mental health services, services for our foster youth transitioning into adulthood, supportive services for child welfare workers, foster youth county employment internships, early independent living programs, and short-term residential treatment programs. This short video is designed to help individuals seeking employment opportunities within San Mateo County's Children and Family Services to better understand the complex roles and responsibilities of child welfare social workers in our county. Thank you for your interest in joining our dynamic team. There's a diversity of programs within this child welfare agency, from emergency response to working with children and families that are either reunifying or that we're trying to maintain safely in the home, to adoption services, to working with our youth that are transitioning into adulthood. So there's a large variety of programs within the agency. There are many different aspects to this work. It's not just about removing children. It's also about keeping families together and helping families to reunify. There's a long continuum of work that encompasses child welfare.
I would say a child welfare social worker is someone who first and foremost is looking at risk and safety, always assessing the situation that a child is in. That does mean there are times that we do need to remove children from their parents because they can't safely be home with their family at that time. But it also means after that takes place, putting a lot more time and energy into actually supporting the family and coming back together and having that child reunify with their family. Even though it can be really challenging to think about removing a child from a family, one of the positives in what we do is really engaging with that family, helping them identify their strengths and build on them and get resources that they need that they don't already have in their lives so that they can make changes so their children can be safely back home with them.
Our personal life is impacted by the work that we do, the long hours, the workload. So there are a few things that I do. One is have weekly supervision. Two is take vacation. Whenever possible, take vacation. Take that extra day just to re-energize. Also have fun with your coworkers, be funny about it, joke around. Also leave work at work and go home and have fun with your kids, with your family, with your friends. I know of other social workers who have access to the wellness programs here in county or the self-care training programs in county. So there are ways to do it. I have been with the county for 13 years. I started here as a single father and I got married, 2 children. 13 years later, I'm happy and I'm enjoying it.
I feel like if you come to be a social worker, just do it for all the right reasons. Because you're working with kids who have honestly already been through so much pain, been through so much hurt. And I say we because I am part of that society. We know fake when we see it. We can sniff it a mile away. And like I said, we done been through so much stuff and been dealt the craziest cards that we can be dealt, that it's gonna be so much harder if we have someone that's supposed to work with us, that's supposed to support us, just come and do what they're supposed to do.
So you have to understand you are working with multiple kids, but you have to always remember each kid is different and you have to be able to know which kid you're working with without having a case file in front of you. If I meet with you, oh, I know your name, what you've been through. So that's one thing I always say with social workers is you have to have a tough skin for someone entering this. So be consistent, be trustworthy, keep an open line of communication, try not to judge any of the kids, but understand the things that they're going through.
I wish someone would have told me that social work is not a Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. work. It's more than that. So I wish someone would have told me that. But the reality is social work is not like that. We are constantly working. But I decided to stay with San Mateo County in child welfare because, again, I firmly believe that the work that we do impact the life of families in the community.
I get to see the outcome of my families and the work that I put in as well. It is very gratifying to see a parent reunify with their kid, and it's kind of like what you have set out to do from the beginning. And you know, what we go to school for is that we want to be able to help these families.
The idea that I can help plant a seed for a family, even if they're not making dramatic changes in their life right now. This might be the beginning of a process, or I might be somewhere in the middle of a lifelong process that they have of making some significant changes in their lives. So it's helpful for me to remember that.
My job gets easier once you know that you're not able to fix everything, and to accept that is something very valuable.
You know, you develop a lot of friendships and a lot of relationships here through the work, and a lot of those relationships are very lasting, like a second family in a lot of ways.
It's a great thing to see families get it together, and then you can step out and be like, all right, you guys are good.
I am passionate about it. I believe that I can make a positive change in the community. Long hours, yes, but it's my heart. It's what I love to do, and that's the reason why I'm here.
I can't think of anything more rewarding than working with children and families.